Welcome back, everyone, to Complicated Stuff here on the Girl Has It All channel. For our 11th deep dive, I'm Thomas.
And I'm Jenna.
And we're both so glad you could join us today. So, Jenna.
It's great to be here.
You're our resident quantum physics expert here at Girl Has It All. And today, we're going to be talking about something I think a lot of people have probably fantasized about at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And that is changing our memories. Specifically, some new research has come out that indicates that we may be able to weaken the impact of negative memories by reactivating positive memories during sleep.
It's pretty amazing.
I've got to say, when I first read about this, I was pretty skeptical.
It's wild.
It sounds too good to be true, right?
Totally.
Like, who hasn't wished that they could just kind of erase a bad memory, or at least make it not sting so much?
Right.
But this research, which was published in PNAS, which is a very prestigious scientific journal, offers some pretty compelling evidence.
It does.
So let's talk about this. How did they even study this?
Well, they took a group of 37 participants, and they used images from established databases that have already been categorized as either positive or negative based on how people generally react to them.
So, like, if you show somebody a picture of, like, a car accident.
Right.
That would be negative.
Exactly. Or like a natural disaster. Or like pictures of injuries, things like that.
Something else is like a field of puppies.
Yeah. Puppies, kittens, happy babies.
Okay, so they've got these images, and then what do they do?
So they have the participants link the negative images with made-up words.
Okay.
So it's like they're creating this artificial memory, but one that they can track and measure.
Okay, so they're basically attaching a negative feeling to a word.
Yes.
So then how do they get the positive memories involved?
So then they introduce some of those same made-up words, but this time alongside positive images.
Okay.
So they're basically trying to overlay that good feeling on top of the bad one.
So I'm still not quite clear on how the sleep part comes into this.
So while the participants were sleeping,
okay,
the researchers played audio cues of those made-up words. And the goal was to reactivate the associated memories during the NREM sleep phase.
Okay.
Which is when our brains are busy consolidating memories.
So they're like sneaking in while the brain's filing stuff away?
Exactly.
Okay. So they're playing these words. But how do they know if it's actually working? Are they just like watching these people sleep?
Well, they're monitoring brain activity using EEG, electroencephalography, It's a way to measure electrical signals in the brain.
Right.
And it allows researchers to see what's happening in real time.
Very cool. So what did they see happening in the brain?
Well, one of the most interesting things that they saw was this increase in what's called theta band activity when the positive cues were played during sleep.
Theta band activity? What is that?
Well, our brains produce different types of electrical waves. And those waves change depending on what we're doing and how we're feeling. Okay. And theta waves are specifically associated with memory processing, particularly when it comes to emotions. So
they saw an increase in these waves when they were playing these positive cues. Right. So it seems like it was actually like doing something, like focused on the good.
Yeah, like the brain was being nudged to focus on the good feelings instead of the bad ones.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So did any of this actually change how people felt or remembered things when they woke up?
It did, yeah. They were less able to recall the negative images that had been paired with those made-up words.
So they basically forgot the bad stuff.
Yeah, it's like the positive associations were overriding the negative ones.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and get this.
Okay.
They also had more positive memories coming up, like involuntarily.
Really?
Yeah, like these intrusions of positive memories just like bubbling up to the surface.
So it's not just they're forgetting the bad stuff, but they're actually remembering good stuff.
Exactly. And they even started to show like a more positive emotional bias towards those made-up words.
Wait, so even the words themselves started to feel more positive?
Yeah.
Wow, so it's not just the image, it's like a whole feeling.
Exactly, yeah.
That's incredible.
It is pretty remarkable.
It is remarkable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the possibilities here are kind of endless.
Right.
I mean, could we use this to help people who are struggling with anxiety or depression?
Yeah.
Even trauma?
I mean, it's definitely a promising avenue for future research.
Yeah.
Like, imagine being able to help someone with PTSD.
Right.
Who's constantly triggered by negative memories, or, you know, someone with a phobia that's deeply rooted in a past experience. This research suggests that we might be able to, like, lessen the grip of those negative memories. You know? And allow people to heal and move forward.
That's incredible.
Yeah. pretty hopeful.
But I also wonder, how far can we go with this? I mean,
Yeah.
memories make us who we are.
Right.
I mean, we need them to learn and grow, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really important point, and one that researchers are definitely grappling with as they, explore these new frontiers of memory manipulation. It's not about erasing the past entirely, but rather finding ways to help people manage the emotional weight of those memories.
So it's more about like dialing down the intensity
Exactly.
rather than just completely forgetting.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And keep in mind that, this research is still in its early stages.
Sure.
We're talking about a controlled lab environment with, artificially created memories. It's not the same as dealing with real life trauma.
Right.
Or, deeply ingrained negative thought patterns.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like the training wheels version.
Yeah. But still, I mean, even with these limitations, it's pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
The potential here.
It raises a lot of really interesting questions about the nature of memory and, how our brains work.
Yeah, like for example, if we can strengthen positive memories during sleep, could we use this technique to like target other types of memories? Like, can we help someone remember, something important for a test
Oh, interesting.
by reactivating those memories while they're sleeping?
Yeah, that's a great question, and one that researchers are already exploring.
Wow.
There's a lot of interest in using targeted memory reactivation to enhance learning and improve memory performance.
That's wild. I mean, this is really mind-blowing stuff.
It is.
I mean, it makes you wonder what other secrets are hiding in our brains.
Yeah, totally.
What else can we do?
Yeah, and what other possibilities might be unlocked as we, continue to explore the mysteries of sleep and memory.
It's really exciting. I mean, this research really ties in perfectly with the work that we do here at Girl Has It All, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Our mission is all about empowering people to reach their full potential, to overcome obstacles, and to live their best lives. And this research aligns perfectly with that. Imagine being able to help someone break free from the limitations of their past and step into a brighter future.
Yeah, it's like we're giving people a fresh start,
Yeah,
but without erasing who they are or what they've learned.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
about giving them the tools to manage their emotional landscape in a healthier, more empowered way.
Right, and I can see how this would be so valuable in all of our coaching fields. Metaphysics, life coaching, professional anxiety management,
Totally.
English language coaching, all of these things.
Yeah.
Focus on helping people achieve their goals.
Exactly. And this research suggests that we might be able to harness the power of the subconscious mind, particularly during sleep,
Right.
to facilitate growth and transformation.
Wow. It's like opening up a whole new dimension of possibilities.
It is.
But it also makes me think about the ethical considerations.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if we can influence memories, where do we draw the line?
Yeah, where do we draw the line?
Who decides what memories should be weakened or strengthened?
Those are really important questions. And as with any powerful technology, we need to be mindful of the potential risks and implications and make sure that these discoveries are used responsibly and ethically.
Right. We need to approach this with caution
Yeah,
and a lot of respect for the complexity of the human mind.
definitely.
But at the same time, it's hard not to be excited by the potential.
I know.
This has to help people live happier lives, fuller lives.
I agree. It's a fascinating and complex area of research,
Yeah.
and it's definitely one that we'll be following closely in the years to come.
I can't wait to see what other discoveries await us.
Me too.
But before we get too carried away, I think it's important to bring this back to our listeners
Okay.
and hear their thoughts. So what are your thoughts on all of this? Does the idea of weakening negative memories excite you, or does it raise some concerns?
It's a really interesting question, isn't it? I mean,
It is.
who hasn't wished that they could just kind of, dim the lights on a painful memory?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, those experiences shape us, even the bad ones. Right. They make us who we are.
Exactly.
And that's why it's so important to have these conversations to explore both the possibilities and the potential pitfalls.
Absolutely. I mean, we need to be thinking about these things as we go forward.
Yeah.
And we would love to hear from you, our listeners.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on all of this? Head over to our social media channels and let us know. Do you think this is a step towards a brighter future for mental health?
Right.
Or does it kind of make you a little bit uneasy?
Yeah. Let's keep the conversation going.
We want to hear from you.
We're always eager to hear different perspectives.
And don't forget to join us live every Friday and Saturday at 8:30 Eastern Time and 5:30 a.m. Pacific Time.
On the Girl Has It All channel.
You've got so much more to explore together.
Until next time, Keep those minds curious.
And remember,
Girl has it all.
girl has